Hey everybody, how's it going? I hope you're all having a lovely morning. I don't know if you'll notice, but in the 5 minutes before my last video and this one, we've went from complete Zoloft-inducing seasonal affective disorder to a very sunny and happy day. So if it looks like I'm happier in this video, well, it's because I actually am. So today what I'd like to discuss is what I think is probably a really good piece of troll bait on Reddit. It's hard for me to tell if this is troll bait or serious. This post is in the One Wheel subreddit. It says the hours spent enjoying Future Motion's products will always eclipse the hours spent complaining about them. Recently, this community has done a disservice to a pioneer brand that have brought a tremendous degree of enjoyment to many, many board riders. This is something we have forgotten. It's unfortunate that as we continue to vilify Future Motion's reputation due to a fairly criticized product launch, the brand bashing continues deeper. Instead of bolstering the One Wheel movement, we're destroying it. While Future Motion is a proven it's worth the wait company based on their past of remedying previous product issues occurring close to launch. What happened to our brand loyalty, pride and ownership, and the kind of community support and engagement that motivates a brand to have a constructive back and forth with its users, inspiring quality change? This recent bashing is not constructive to such a degree that it may cause the brand to disappear. Think about it. Is that what we really want? Our most upvoted first comment is Kyle, is that you? Referring to an executive for the company. So before I get into this, I'd like to actually start with a somewhat unrelated discussion, which is the differences that my father and my mother had with each other when it came to parenting. My dad had something called a thinking chair. And even back when I was 5 or 6 years old, if I did something I wasn't supposed to do, he would tell me to go to the thinking chair. And then he would give me 5 or 6 minutes to think. He would show up and he would tell me a story. And as I got older, the stories got a little bit more complex because as I got older, I could understand more and I had a more world context. But he would tell me a story, 15 minutes in length. And at the end of the story, he would kind of come around to what the point was. And he would link it into whatever it is that I did. And he would demonstrate how I would feel bad or how I would screw myself or other people over in a way that wasn't beneficial to me in life as a result of the actions that I took. And he thought that this worked. He didn't believe in punishment. He didn't believe in taking away a toy or saying you can't go outside or grounding me or any of that. And he never did that throughout the entire time that I lived with my father. My mother believed in the opposite approach, which is punish, why don't you hit him? Why don't you smack him? Why don't you hit him? He's not going to grow up and be disciplined. He's not going to have a work ethic, blah, 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 if you don't have some sort of hard discipline. And they disagreed incredibly. I think that my dad's approach tended to be the better one, since that was the approach that wound up being the one that they went with. And also, again, am I a bum that never works, or am I a dude that's damn near balding with gray hair in his early 30s as a result of working 12 to 16 hours a day? The thing is that he believed, and when I asked him about why this was his approach and why he believed in it, he said that you don't have authority simply because you're a parent. You don't get respect simply because you're a parent. Loyalty and respect are things that you have to earn from everybody in your life. You don't just get it because you have a name tag. You don't just have authority or respect because you are the principal. That principal has to actually convince you that their way of doing things. That teacher has to convince you that their argument is better than your argument. I have to convince you that my argument is better than your argument, or else you're never going to respect me. Sure, that teacher has say over you while you're in school. What about when you're outside the classroom? Sure, I can hit you, I can ground you right now, but when you turn 18 and you're legally allowed to leave, are you going to make the right decisions with your life, or are you going to do the exact opposite? If you're only doing something simply because there's nobody there to hit you anymore, simply because there's somebody to hit you, then once there's nobody there to hit you anymore, then it doesn't last. However, if I make arguments that actually resonate with you, if I earn your respect, if I earn your loyalty, even when I'm no longer there and have the ability to have authority over you, I will have authority over you because you'll agree with my argument. My dad taught me that you have to earn your respect and earn your loyalty from everyone. And it was an excellent lesson that I learned from a very young age through his method of discipline, or kind of lack thereof. And I think the same is true when it comes to a company. This concept that you need to have blind brand loyalty is insane to me. When he says, I want to see if others' loyalty and support is still alive. And I think it is an issue, a serious issue, to expect that people have loyalty to a company when they continuously and repeatedly double down on anti-user practices. So when they were asked about this battery thing, a lot of people, when they first came out with the battery issue, a lot of people were not really mad at them immediately. They were not yelling at them and saying, I hate you, you're horrible. Many people that I meet that like the One Wheel, they're loyal. They want this company to stick around. They want this company to change. And for all their prior transgressions, they are more than happy to put it under the rug as long as they simply take off some of these locks and let people repair their own products. The issue is that when OneWheel responded, they said, we can't just have people in their garage doing this. We have these high quality ways of doing things that are better. Pretty much the copy pasta of it was kind of, to paraphrase, was, we have better ways of doing things than all of you, so we can't let you do this. And they continued to double down on the corporate nonsense speak, which I went over in a video that I did last week. And one person also pointed out here, when it comes to brand loyalty, frankly, most of this could have been avoided with a single sincere public announcement acknowledging issues and laying out a plan to move forward. Instead, we get comments like this. And this is from the official OneWheel account here, responding to a user with an issue, saying, maybe your shoes are broken. Maybe your shoes are broken. I read the entire response they had to the battery issue on this channel. I've gone over in detail with Mario, Josh, and Will, with others, what's going on with this company. They are going out of their way to sue people who come up with other ways to repair and modify their products so that you can replace the battery on a product that you own with a larger battery or a better battery. And when somebody actually gets around some of their measures, they literally sue them into the ground. So I believe that loyalty has to be earned. It always has to be earned and re-earned on a regular basis. You don't simply give loyalty to a company because you spent money with them. That's not how this works. Rather, if anything, they should be giving loyalty to you, the customer, because you gave them money. As in return for us giving you money, you should treat us with respect. So this kind of has to go both ways. And my comment on this thread was, what constructive dialogue? The response to my first video is to double down on everything they said, ignore customer concerns, ignore every concern in the video, and keep on doing business as usual. This is just... And I kind of stand by that comment. I think that a company does have to earn your loyalty. Again, at the end of the day, one of the most loyal things that I can do to a company is actually point out if they're doing something that's going to destroy their user base. So for instance, with ThinkPads, I'm using a ThinkPad right now. I love ThinkPads. I've used ThinkPads for over a decade. I think that they are great computers. And with the T540, they did so, in the T440, they got rid of the trackpad buttons, which was absolutely abysmal, as if they hadn't learned anything from the failure that was the BlackBerry Storm 9530. So I did a post talking about how this is bad. I did a video talking about how this is bad. And what happened a year later? They actually changed. And again, I didn't want Lenovo to go out of business because of that. I simply wanted them to change and do better. And they did. The T550 and the T450 had a proper trackpad design with proper trackpad buttons that were actually usable. I love ThinkPads. I use ThinkPads. I suggest people buy ThinkPads. At the same time, when they came out with the ThinkPad Retro, which was, in my opinion, a complete meme, it got all the bad things from the past with none of the good, and all the bad things of what's going on right now, none of the good. I did a video, why I'm not buying the ThinkPad Retro. Do I want them to go out of business? No. What I want them to do is produce a product that's actually good. And honestly, when it comes to Future Motion, I don't want them to go out of business. I want them to change. I want them to treat their customers with the loyalty that I believe those customers earned from the company by giving them their money. You should not have blind loyalty to a brand. You should not have blind loyalty to a politician. You should not have blind loyalty to anybody. They need to earn it from you. Not only do they need to earn it today, they need to consistently re-earn it with each passing day. And if they're not doing that, in my opinion, they don't deserve your loyalty or their respect. I don't expect loyalty from my employees because I did one nice thing for them once. I need to re-earn loyalty and respect from them every single day. And admittedly, a lot of the time, particularly recently, I've probably failed at that, but that's the point. That's the ideal. That's what we're shooting for here, is to continuously earn and then re-earn that level of respect and loyalty every single day. You produced a great product 6 years ago. For the last few years, you've been screwing with your users' ability to fix it. If you want that to change, then if you want people to respect you, then you are going to have to change those practices. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.